Let's talk about a multi-billion-dollar puzzle. You've got these massive, successful Western companies, absolute giants in their home markets. But when they go to Asia, they struggle, and a lot of them end up pulling out completely. So today, we're going to break down exactly why that's happening and what it means for your business.
So let's just get right to it. This is the core question, isn't it? You have a proven product, a business model that's a winner back home. You enter these huge, promising Asian markets, and instead of explosive growth, you hit a wall. So what is going on? Because this isn't just a minor slump we're talking about. It's a fundamental disconnect.
You know, the stakes here could not be higher. This is way beyond just tweaking a marketing campaign or changing up your packaging. We're talking about a critical, strategic choice that's being forced on companies by, well, deep cultural friction and a whole new digital native generation. The market is sending a really clear message. Either you adapt your entire playbook or you pack your bags and go home.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at what we're calling the Great Asian Exit to understand the scale of the problem. Then, we're going to diagnose exactly why the old playbook just isn't working anymore. After that, we'll get into the secrets of local companies that are thriving. And finally, we'll map out what a new winning story for Asia could actually look like for you.
Okay, first up, the Great Asian Exit. It's so important to get this right off the bat. This isn't just a few isolated companies having a bad year. What we're witnessing is really the end of an era. It's the collapse of a business model that everyone just assumed would work anywhere.
This quote from Oprah, it absolutely nails the core issue. The problem isn't the Asian market itself, it's the history that Western companies are clinging to for dear life. It's a history built on a transactional, often high-pressure sales model that a new generation of consumers is just flat-out rejecting.
So, the number one reason for all this failure? It's not about logistics or pricing. It's something much deeper. It's a fundamental clash between the Western way of doing business and core Asian cultural values. And when you put it side by side, the conflict is just crystal clear. The Western model often looks at a social network as basically a list of sales leads, but in many Asian cultures, that's a huge violation of a relationship-first approach. Trying to monetize your close personal relationships can cause what's known as a loss of face, which is a really deep social shame. So while in the West, you might use relationships to build a business, in the East, you absolutely have to build the relationship first.
You know, this concept is so vital it has a name. In China, they call it guanxi. It's this idea that business flows from genuine, mutual trust, not the other way around. So when your model comes across as predatory or just feels like a get-rich-quick scheme, you're not just losing a few customers, you're violating a core social principle. And guess what? Regulators and entire communities are starting to push back and push back hard.
Okay, let's move on to the second massive disruption here, the generational chasm. The gap between your company's old-school methods and Asia's young consumers. It isn't just a gap, it's a canyon, and it was created by technology.
I mean, just think about this from the perspective of a 22-year-old in Seoul or Bangkok. The old way of doing things, you know, the hotel ballrooms, seminars, the flashy diamond-level mentors promising you the world, it all just feels, well, to use their word, cringe. It's confusing, it's high pressure, and it's completely disconnected from their digital-first reality.
So, if they don't trust the slick mentor, where do they put their trust? Well, it's in peer reviews. It's in their favorite TikTok shop influencers. It's in the transparent ratings they see on e-commerce platforms like Shopee. They much prefer social commerce, where the commission structure is totally clear, and the product, not some vague business opportunity, is the actual star of the show.
And all of this brings us to the third critical failure, the one-size-fits-all global strategy. While Western companies are spinning their wheels, local players are absolutely thriving. So how are they doing it? Well, they understand the power of something called tribal marketing.
See, Asia isn't one single market. It's a huge collection of thousands of unique digital tribes, and each one is connected by shared ideas and leaders they trust. Success isn't about broadcasting one generic global message from headquarters. It's about deeply, truly aligning your company's philosophy with a tribe's identity to create a real emotional connection. If you don't do that, you're just another vendor shouting into the void.
Let's look at a quick, concrete example. A U.S. company enters the Korean market with a message that works perfectly back in the States: empowerment through entrepreneurship, right? It's the American dream, packaged up and ready for export. But here's the thing. The local Korean tribes they were trying to reach, they didn't really prioritize individual ambition. Their core values were all about collective success and providing security for their family. So the company's message didn't just miss the mark a little. It was completely culturally misaligned. And the result?
a very short sales spike followed by a total collapse as the tribe basically just walked away, together. This is exactly how local heroes like Atomy and Tienz are winning. They are not just copying and pasting a business model from Los Angeles to Seoul. They build their entire strategy from the ground up, blending traditional values with mobile-first platforms and showing real respect for local wellness traditions and digital habits. So, now that we've really diagnosed the problem from a few different angles, let's talk about the solution. And it requires a pretty profound shift in mindset, a shift from just repeating history to what the source material calls intentional motion.
Intentional motion is really the core of the new playbook for Asia. It's about having the courage to look at what worked in the West and admit that it's broken here. And, just as importantly, it's about having the humility to listen, to learn, and to build something entirely new that's genuinely adapted to local values and modern digital life.
So, what does this path actually look like in practice? It really comes down to 3 clear steps. First, just let go of the pre-pandemic sales kit. Seriously, it's obsolete. Second, build your entire strategy on a foundation of local Asian values, not Western ones. And third, you have to fully embrace what we're calling values-based social commerce, a model that is transparent, authentic, and puts the community first.
And that really leaves us with one final critical question for any leader thinking about succeeding in the Asian market. Take a hard look at your strategy, your messaging, your whole model. Are you just rereading the same tired old history that's failing all over the continent? Or do you have the courage and the humility to start writing a completely new story? Because the future of your business over there really depends on that answer.